Third Phase Moon, Blake Cousins here. Merry Christmas, everybody. We're doing it live right now. We don't take days off. You know, the UFO phenomenon happens 24/7 around the world, and that's what's important right here at Third Phase Moon Radio. We're taking your calls live from around the world. We got Brett Cousins here. He's going to be asking questions. He's joining in tonight. Hey, Brett, thanks for joining us on this Christmas day.
Hey Blake, thanks for having me. You know, it's going to be quite exciting. I have a feeling this episode is going to be something else. You know, it's 5 days left till the new year. You know, Blake, I think we should do the best of the year, you know, wrap up what we think, in our best opinion, are the best captures of 2015.
You know, I think that's a good idea. We'll do that. We're going to get the word out, what we think is, like Brent said, the best captures of 2015, because boy, it was an amazing year. I gotta say, this past December was this past month. Wow, that almost topped it all. There's some amazing videos coming in. Everybody go check it out on Third Phase Moon. We're gonna get to callers right now. Let's get to it. 479, you there?
Yes, I am.
Hey,
hello.
Thanks for calling into Third Phase. What's your name?
My name is Ginger, and I'd like to wish all of you a very Merry Christmas.
Wow, same to you, Ginger. Thank you.
I have a story to tell you that the only people I've told throughout the years is close friends of my family. Many years ago, me and my friend were driving home. It was around, I'd say, 2 o'clock in the morning. We were coming down the paved road. It was a 2-lane road. I don't even know how to describe it. I'm going to do the best I can. This thing had climbed up out of a ditch. The ditch was in front of a home. I'm assuming whatever this thing was, I don't know, it was in their backyard. My lights was on bright. When it stood up, it had to be over 7 foot, or, yeah, that thing had to be over 7 foot. It was the best way to describe whatever this was. I compare it to a sealskin or a diver suit. It was completely black. It was tall. It had arms, naturally it had legs. When it turned to look at us, I couldn't stop driving. I froze. My friend that was in the passenger side, she froze. I couldn't even take my foot off the gas. I just kept going towards it. So when it stood up out of the ditch, it got on the edge of the lane, which would be the left lane. I was driving in the right. When it turned to look at us, you take 2 pairs, you turn them sideways. That was the eyes, and it glowed just bright red like fire. Well, I'm continuing to go to it because I can't take my foot off the gas. I just have to keep driving. When I got up to this thing, bent its arms back, crouched down, low to the ground, took one leap and went right in front of my car. Right in front of my car. When it landed on the outside of the second lane, which was the lane I was driving in one stride. Now, when it landed, when it hit the ground, it crouched down. I'm assuming because of the weight of it. I don't know. But it bent back down, it was crouched again, and it stood up and just gave us one final look and just gone into the darkness. And that's what happened.
Ooh, whoa. Wow. I like scary stories on Christmas. I really like scary stories on Christmas and scary movies for some odd reason. But, wow, that was kind of scary.
Well, I like scared. God's saying it mildly. I don't know what it was. It was very tall. It had no hair. It had zero hair. I'm sorry?
No hair, no clothes of any kind, right?
No. I compare it to what a wet skin. It's shiny like a seal skin, or a diver suit. It was glossy black.
Almost like a seal. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Almost like a seal that you would see
Yes,
in the
the
water.
skin.
The seal skin. Here, Brent's got a question for you.
Yes.
Very interesting, Ginger. Great story. I really believe what you're saying. Just the accounts and the way you're saying it's coming across really legitimate. You say the eyes were the size of pears, and they glowed
you take
red.
your pears. Yeah, you turn them sideways, and they glowed. Well, the only way to describe it is red as fire. They glowed. It was just cool.
Did it have a luminescence to it? Did it actually highlight a luminance of light around its eyes, or was it an iridescent, like how you see a dog in the dark and where it hits their eyes and it'll show their iridescence?
No. It wasn't like if you've seen an animal in the dark or you put headlights on it or if you took a flashlight. No. This just literally glowed red as fire. Now, I could not see a mouth. There was no way to see a mouth, naturally. It was just the eyes that was just very glowing, very, very glowing.
Were you by yourself at the time?
No. I had my friend with me. Me and her was coming home.
So you and your friend got the thriller night of your time, basically. And what's your friend?
The windows was down.
Until later. So I had an unbiased ideal of what he really was, and all I knew was he's really kind. And this is where judgment, our minds are closed. If they're dressed like this, but let's say you're in Star Wars and that big furry dude that's really funny, I can't remember his name, comes up and he's like trying to talk to you, and you're like, oh, it's Bigfoot, and run. They're like, hey, come on now, You have to be very open-minded because they are going to stand and they're going to meet with us. It's going to happen. You got to be ready for this. We're the world. We're ready. We can do this. It's all thinking positive. I know there's a lot of things have happened. Every one of us. That's what the story was to tell you. How can I have hope after all that? Well, it's there. It's in your heart. And see, that's the best part. Religion, if you go that way, Jesus is telling you he's in your heart. Go in your heart. Go in that light. Sit in that little light and just sit there and say, when are you going to talk to me? You'll see he'll send you out, and you'll be open-minded, and that he loves everyone, and God made a whole galaxy. And the way I look at it is we're a giant mirror, and we just were shattered across the whole world. And he said, as long as we're theirs and his, nothing can happen to us. You die every night when you go to sleep and we wake up. We think because we were told at 50 we're supposed to die. It's not supposed to happen that way. And this year we're going to find out we're God's light, and we're the light of the heavens. And that we're so powerful. The whole heavens was dancing because we were realizing that not evil is going to win. We're going to pull it back. We're going to control it. We're not going to let it hurt our people anymore. And it's not going to be. They're going to be ashamed of what they've done. And we're going to just tell every one of them, hey, we don't want your politics. We want to decide who's going to be there because we're going to show them that we can control this. We don't want some liar. We've been paying millions of dollars. And what's funny is we get rid of one person in Congress. That's $1 million a year we can hand to somebody that would pay. And all this abundance of money would come to all of us. And we're paying somebody that's not doing none of their stuff they're supposed to be doing and lying and keeping all this stuff from us. And when the more we find out, the more you're going to get angry. Don't get angry.
That's right. Everybody's got to get angry in its own sense to get ahead of the ball game. Real angry sometimes because we got to demand this life we have right now. Chalice, hey, thanks a lot for calling in. Merry Christmas. We'll be getting back to you.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Goodbye.
Merry Christmas. We'll be getting back to Chalice. Don't you worry, people, because she's a wealth of knowledge. This is a Third Phase Moon extended as best as I possibly could. I'm being forced to shut this down. I gotta shut it down. So, you know what, everybody? We're gonna be back next week, Friday, same time, 11 p.m. if you're in New York, and 8 p.m. Los Angeles time every Friday. We're here at Third Phase Moon taking calls from around the world in regards to the UFO phenomenon. And stay tuned to Third Phase Moon YouTube because that's the place to check in for the latest updates in regards to the UFO phenomenon happening right now. Blake Cousins, this is Third Phase Moon signing out. Merry Christmas, everybody.